What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to part 2 of the Millions Final Table. Some of the best players battling, and we're trying to learn here for this $3,000 buy-in that happened on Party Poker last month. So we already lost 2 players in the last part. We're going to kick it off with the final 7. Let's get back into the video. Quickly, let's review kind of where we're at for this final table. So if you guys skipped part 1, you didn't watch, these are the 9 players we got. Prebin up into the chip lead here with 147 big blinds. Started with the chip lead, maintain the chip lead. We got Yannick and Taco up at 91 big blinds apiece. They've both been killing it. Definitely still in the green zone. Like, when you have 90 big blinds at a final table, you're sitting very pretty. You can play comfortable, you can play a lot of pots. I said this in the last. If you're up in this 80, 90 big blinds, you can still play a lot of pots without risk of going broke. You can even play 3 street hands without going broke, still having your tournament life, which removes a lot of the pressure. Shemian, you know, still on a big stack here, 56 big blinds, doing well. Elis on 40 big blinds, Alexander on 28, and Lars, the clear short stack, on 17.5 right now. You can see the 2 players we lost awarded their $40,000 and $32,000 prize. Quick refresher on the tournament, 391,000 up top. The buy-in was 3K, 2 mil guaranteed. These are the payouts remaining. That's all the info I have for you. Let's get back into this tournament here. Final 7. Let's kick it back. Let's go. I'm excited. Part 2. We'll see if in part 2 I can figure out Shemian's game. Part 1, I was trying to figure it out, and you know, was making so many plays that I just was not on par with. So I'm gonna see a raise here from the cutoff. A7 offsuit, not a beautiful hand to defend on a final table, but is gonna take a flop. Flops well as outflops the ace-8. Shemian can't be hating their spot here. They have the ace of spades working for them, backdoor straight draw as well. Definitely like the c-bet. Gets a call, turn 3. Could see some leads happening here, but we just see a check from the 7. Check back. Oh, what a river. Elis comes in with another check. I was thinking maybe a very small bet here from the 7, but it does come with the check, and Shemian for sure gonna go for value. Again, I'm like, oh, 8 on the river, 3 checks from Elis, like for sure going for a value bet. No, you know, I'm thinking maybe 8-9 calls once, 10-8 calls once, maybe Queen-8 of clubs. Like, oh, he has the 8 of clubs. Okay, so not the Queen-8, King-8 of clubs or anything like that, but the 8-9s, whatever, like the 7x. Again, Shemian, just, I would have thought probably value at the river. You can have a pretty strong checking range on the turn, on the 3. So your range feels like pretty protected with some good hands, but I know nothing, clearly. I know nothing. Just a check back. Must feel nice that Shemian retained the best hand at the end there, though. Prebin loves the ace-6 offsuit. We saw so many, like, keeps getting ace-6 under the gun or under the gun 1. He's winning almost every single time with it. See how this next phase of the tournament goes. I mean, some very deep stacks still. Can't imagine they're going to skip the ace-5. Alexander in the big blind, I guess, will have the decision to make whether they want to call or 3-bet or fold. Could really see it going anyway. I think I would fold, but Alexander agrees. I tend to be quite tight in the big blind in these kind of scenarios, but that's just kind of my own way I like to play these final tables. Don't think anyone's gonna give Shemian any problems on this hand. King deuce offsuit, not the type of hand you want to defend against early position deep stack. Could see Yannick open it up with the king 6 suited here. Sitting in second place right now with 91 bigs. Yep, it's going to open it up. And, you know, Lars is the pure short stack. Might want to defend this one with the jack 8 offsuit, but wouldn't be a crazy fold either, I don't think. The 2-gapper offsuit combo at the final table. See which way Lars decides to go. Call or fold. Does go for the fold. I think that's one I would also fold. Ace king, maybe some collision late position here. Although looking at Lars' stack now, I would imagine we're just gonna get an all in. Less than 20 big blinds in the small blind. Don't think ace king offsuit is really one we're gonna see it like a non all in 3-bet from. Prebin's certainly gonna go for the raise, so I'm assuming a fold if there's a shove. Yep, does just go for the all in. There's not much else to do. Like, you could make it 10 million against 4 million, but just gotta go all in, and it's a good play. It does get it through. Little chip up there for Lars as the short stack. Hour 2, pretty dialed here. This one could be interesting. Ace-4 for Taco and King-3 for Yannick. I don't know if Prebin finds a way in here or not. This is all assuming that Taco opens the action with the ace-4 suited. I'm curious what the king jack wants to do. Are we going to see call? Are we going to see 3-bet or just fold? I was gonna, man, I was gonna say I doubt 3-bet. I really doubt 3-bet, but I guess it can definitely be more attractive than calling in the cutoff with the king jack offsuit. And Taco's not going anywhere with the ace 4 suited. Queen 5-6, not a great or terrible board for either. I mean, Taco's got the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Kreben's got the, you know, he's got the overcard. He's got the top pair blockers, you know, blocking king, queen, king, jack. Backdoor straight draw. Takes it down. Nice to be back sweating the final table. I took a few hour break for the second sweat. I'm wearing the same outfit as I did on episode 1, but I did take about 4 hours off in between the first recording and now this recording. It's a little later at night. Feeling refreshed. Lars gonna go for the 3-bet. Jam. I mean, this is essentially a 3-bet shove. Just leaving a bit of room. You'll see people leave room just in case crazy action happens, you know? Like with jacks, you are committing here. However, you know, it's one of those situations where, okay, they make it 4 million, 3.5. Lars makes it 17. Like if it goes shove, shove, call, you know what I mean? If it goes shove, shove, call or something, you want to fold jacks at that point, right? Or if it goes shove, 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 or, you know, this kind of action. Like there is scenarios where you might want to get out of the way with multiple players behind. This is essentially a shove, but you're leaving a little bit of room for the heroics in case crazy action happens to maybe fold and get out of the way of aces, kings, these kind of things. Alexander finding an open. Nice flop for Alexander. Not the best for Taco. We've seen the 4 or 5 offsuit from Taco a few times. Taco's kind of silently doing their thing here. 130 million chips. It's the Shemian show here with the ace-9 suited best hand. You may see the king-10 offsuit get involved on the button, but usually going to be fold, I would imagine. And Alexander, you know, we've seen some of these low suited combos get folded in the big blind already. Could be the same here. I mean, we saw the ace-3 offsuit fold in the big blind from Alexander, so I feel like this may be similar, but suited, connected, hard to let go. Does fold, okay. And I mean, you wouldn't want to see clubs come out. That would have been deadly. That would have been absolutely deadly. The Shemian show continues. Another nice hand here with the king queen. Just skip ahead because I do not think anything's happening. No, easy takedown. Ooh, Taco with the ace. I think it might be tough to build a pot here, given everything else we see. But I think it depends whether Yannick wants to call a 3-bet or not. I doubt it. I doubt it. The jack-9 suited just so dominated by the 3-betting range. I do doubt the peel, but I have been wrong many times in this final table. I'd like to see it for entertainment's sake. Goes to 10 million. You notice these people do not, even with the deeper stacks, they don't choose very large 3-bet sizings. They keep it controlled, 3x or under. Which is, of course, you know, pretty standard for in position, but generally when you get very deep, the sizes tend to scale somewhat with how deep you are. But I guess the final table just carries that extra weight where you don't really need to size up to make moves or get it done. Shemian does call the 10-9. Goes for a check. And Taco, you know, 2 overs, ace of hearts in the hand. It could probably go either way here. Expect a mix of options. Just goes for the small bet. And a call. See a small lead here with the trips. Awkward spot for Taco. I mean, you still beat a lot of draws, a lot of bluffs, does go for the call. And now I would assume Shemian's going to size it up big. And I'd be wrong. I'm getting sick of this guy, man. I cannot get it. I cannot get it right. Clearly, I cannot get it right. Man, the way I kind of see this one is, you know, you just have so many bluffs. You have so many draws that miss. You have the absolute nuts. I think Taco's still going to have all the overpairs. 10x in the range. I'm assuming the block has to come with the idea that you block a lot of the calling range. You know, you want to balance out your 5 and your 4 that put out a little dinky bet sometimes. I can understand those aspects of it, but I am surprised that we don't see the big blaster here. We'll see what Taco does. Do they go for the call or not? They do find the call. Shemian picks up a nice pot there. It's honestly hilarious at this point just how often I can get Shemian wrong. Part 1 to part 2, it just doesn't change. Everyone else, I feel like I've gotten pretty correct, you know, calling the folds in the big blind, 3-better this, caller this, you know, it's been pretty on point until it comes to Shemian, just choosing the opposite action every time. 4 hands here, hijack through big blind, all pretty decent, but I think it'll be heads up. You know, I'm not going to say anything. Shemian's got a suited hand. I'm not going to say anything anymore until Shemian acts. Okay, he's out of the way now. Now we can play poker. 3-bet. 3-bet from Yannick. And I call. Preben's like, you know what? I got kind of a junky connector, but I'm in position. I'm ready to make moves. I think Yannick's got this one. Are we going to see a float? Man, against this sizing, I don't know. No float. Nice pot for Yannick there. Following through with some pressure. A nice healthy sizing on that 10 high flop. Ace of hearts in the hand. That was nice. That was a nice play. That was a nice play. What I'm really learning from this is that I really should not play tournaments with Wizzo. Okay, big jam there for Elis. So Yannick has taken over clear second place. Taco falling a bit to 115. Shemian up into third. They're kind of tied. Taco and Shemian. Limp here from Elis. Taco does go for the ISO raise. Folds the 4-3 suited. Suited connected, but out of position and facing pressure. Gets rid of it pretty quick there. Taco's had the big hands. Picks up queens this time. Man, I gotta say, like, so far watching this final table, part 1 and part 2, we haven't seen anything really outrageous. You know, you'll notice not a lot of fancy plays going on. The ace-8 from Yannick sticks out a little bit. Recently, the ace-8 offsuit 3-bet, you know, reasonably large bet on the flop. Maybe some of the leading game, you know, Shemian leading the turn with the trip 9, some big blind leads. But everything pretty, you know, to take my brother Jamie's phrase, stock standard stuff going on. Will Shemian call the 10-8 suited? I'm just spectating Shemian now. I don't make calls. I don't make calls on Shemian anymore. It's above my pay grade. Man, how exciting this would be. Make one of these big final tables. Every pay jump is huge. Tons of time to play poker. You know, you got 100 big blinds, 40-minute levels. It's the dream, dude. Alexander was hoping that Preben was going to do the chip leader thing and bump it up. And then you just get this awful flop. I know the feeling all too well for the ace-king here. Preben does start to put money out, and I think well, could peel one off here, I guess. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see it fold right away. Does take it down with a nice delayed bluff there. Is Taco going to try to get a steal through here? No. Preben turning this pretty junky hand into a raise. Lars is the clear shorty. Is just going to fold the deuce 7 suited. You're in position, but facing the chip lead pressure. And while it is suited, deuce 7, not the greatest of hands. Pretty ugly hands up here until the button. I expect the button to be the first source of action. And Lars could definitely go for it here. Against chip leader, suited ace, 20 big blinds. I think you tend to take these spots, especially with a nice ace blocker there. And we're gonna let this one's gonna get through. We know that. Okay, Lars, you know, staying above water. Alexander now the short stack by a very tiny margin. Okay, sorry, minor interruption there. I went to sleep. I woke up. I got a new outfit. It's a new day. The lighting's back. We're gonna keep going to the final table, same spot. I just thought I'd let you know why I'm in a different outfit. But let's keep going with this video. The idea is the same. Just a quick little wardrobe shift, lighting shift. But let's keep going with the action here. Preben opening the 10-4. Yannick defending the queen 6. Preben out flopping. Just a small bet on the turn here. Maybe try to deny some equity from hands exactly like queen 6. You know, that have 2 overcards. Get a little bit of value maybe from a 3. Maybe an ace high, something like this. Combo draw. Takes it down though. Haven't seen anyone put the hurt on Preben so far at this final table. It's just been super smooth the whole way. Wouldn't say there was a lot of opportunities either though. A lot of these hands have been playing themselves. A couple of interesting decisions, but here we go. Lars going for another all-in, essentially. Yannick picking up jacks on the button. This is going to be pretty interesting for Lars. And we can assume they're going to open the suited ace. And Yannick against the shorter stack will probably want to 3-bet, you know, being able to stack off here happily. So what does Lars go for is the question. What is Lars going to do with the ace-8? Just a fold. Pretty quick fold. Happy to get out of the way. Dodge the better aces in the deck. Dodge the big pairs. Not going to take a flop or anything. And Taco here with the 6-9 suited against 20 big blinds. or just north of 20 big blinds. Does go for the call, not going to go for the big shove. It would be definitely a big shove. Alexander could use this one as a bluff in position. Does decide to go for the bet. You have that 5 working for you with the backdoor straight draw. You have 2 overcards to the board. Does take it down nicely. Ooh, Alexander here in the small blind picking up king. Monster for the short stack. Shemian opening the suited ace. Now, out of position here in the small blind, I feel like we're just going to see a shove, probably with this stack, but we do see a 3-bet. Goes for a 3-bet to 12 million. Doesn't want to go for the all-in. Might want to have some bluffs here. Wants to give some room. Does get some action. Shemian quickly taking the 4-bet with the suited ace. Definitely a common concept. Wow, sent it. Will we be down to 6, or are the kings going to hold? It's a nice board for the kings. Yeah, they're going to hold. Nice pot for Alexander. Well, you can kind of see the benefit of having a not all-in 3-bet range. You know, if Alexander goes all in, ace-5 folds, and there you go. You're not going to get that big value that Alexander did. And Shemian now down into 5th place. Nice pot. Couple of nice suited aces here. Elis and Lars picking up suited aces both. The rest of these hands pretty junky. And Lars goes for the call. Ooh, big flop for the ace-7 of diamonds. It is the worst ace, but probably feels quite good in position here. Goes for a small bet, and I think that'll be the end of the ace-8. Takes it down. Okay, Elis up to 60 million. I mean, Lars kind of sits alone right now. I mean, I guess we started this part 2, and that was the case. Lars was the only stack down below 20 big blinds. They've climbed a little bit, but everyone else has seemed to get to a pretty healthy spot. Queen-7 offsuit going into the muck there. Not one you maybe want to play out of position against the chip leader, even though the raise comes from the button. Taco with the suited king. Keep waiting for something out of line to happen, but people are playing pretty disciplined ranges for the most part. No weird 3-betting going on. No crazy opens, really. I suppose to be expected. Very solid players making a big final table like this. Gonna tend to be playing quite sound poker. Okay, Taco with the ace-9 suited. Shemian with the queens in position. Shemian now on 33 bigs. We can see the blinds just went up here. 1 million, 2 million now. So queen on 30 so blinds. Probably feeling pretty good for a 3-bet. Flat is not ridiculous though. Against under the gun here. Does go for the 3-bet. I think that's what most players would choose. Let's see if Taco wants to play the ace-9. Does go for the call. I would have guessed fold with the ace-9 suited here, but does go for the call. Covers Shemian. Pretty strong suited ace. Can be ahead of some bluffs. 1-bet's going to do it though. No diamond out there. Somewhat of a sized up bet here from the queens on the 10 high board. That's the second 10 high board we've seen where we see that kind of half pot sizing. All right, the boys are going to talk a little bit. Shout out to Henry and James. We're going to skip ahead to the action. All right. Alexander opening under the gun. Taco with the 7-4. He's going to defend. Goes for the check. Taco just has nothing here. Not going to put out a bet. Alexander happy with the ace high just to check it back. I mean, does Taco go for the bluff with the 7 high? Does. Large bet as well. And pretty quick call there from Alexander. I mean, you have to imagine, you know, a lot of the hands that improve on the 10 here might have been tempted to put out a bet on the turn. You know, the turn is a deuce of spades after they check back, right? So, like, a lot of hands want to put out a protection bet, like a 9 or a 6. So if you're trying to say you have 10-9 or 10-6, or even hands like Queen-10 will probably lead bluff the turn a lot. You could see some King-10 lead the turn a lot. You know, so a lot of the hands that kind of improve here are somewhat incentivized to put out the turn bet quite often when it goes check and there's a 2 on the turn. So I think a good call from Alexander. I think kind of tough to believe here. Hands like 7-8 just going to be betting the turn, I think, too often. Taco's got 7 high. He's going to assume that they can get some folds. You know, Alexander's going to have awkward hands here on the river facing that bet. But the 10, I don't think so much. A nice call. And a reasonable bluff. It's kind of a desperate spot when you have 7 high, right? You're like, I can fold out some stuff. I have some value bets. So be it. I'm gonna go for it. Chip leader doing chip leader things. Opening the ace-2 under the gun. Taking it down. This one Looks to be the Taco Prebin show. So Taco just about 50 big blinds. We may see some 3-betting happen from Queen 4 suited in the big blind here. Definitely a hand that also likes to call, and maybe mainly likes to call, but Queen 4 suited strikes me as a hand that might want to 3-bet sometimes. But we are going to see a call. Not the best flop with the gold. Queen 4. Takes it down. Nice pot for Taco there. Surviving any pot against the chip leader is a win. Chipping up. Bunch of junk. And then we got Elis with King 10 against Lars in the big blind with Queen 5 suited. Lars now down to 20 big blinds once again. The blinds don't come around very fast, but they have shallowed things out a little bit. Elis not going to pass on the King 10 here in the hijack. Don't think it'd be a crazy fold on the final table, but more standard of a raise. Lars defends. Both flop a little bit of something here. Elis, middle pair with the good kicker over card. Puts in a small bet. And will Lars continue with the gutter? I always hate these spots. And I feel like I would fold too, but maybe both Lars and I are both too tight there. But nice pot for Elis. King 10 paying off. Alexander's got this one for sure. Shimmying in the small blind. Yeah, it does go for the fold. Okay. I know these elite players, they hate folding their small blind. They hate it. So interesting to see the Jack 6. That's one I would fold as well, but I don't know. I'm tight, so. Elis with the Jack 6, gonna be a call. Oof. Big flop here. Trips for Elis. 2 overs back to straight draw for Prebin. Small bet. And I think raise would be most common. There it is. Up to just about 4x. So definitely a sizable check raise. Gets it through. Didn't want to get it through, but gets it through. Elis is working their way up to the 100 million club. Starting to get there. 10-9 offsuit. Prebin finding the open here. Yannick on the button here with Jack 10 suited. Doing very well against 10-9, we can see. Does go for the call. Is Taco in with the King Jack offsuit? Multi-way. Yep. Is in. 3-way pot. Everyone whiffs. No pairs. Prebin finds a gutter. Yannick does not have a backdoor flush draw. Doesn't really have anything going. Wow. C-bet. I mean, this is going to get through. And multi-way out of position here. Prebin finding the C-bet with the 10-9 on 6-7 queen. I don't know if I'd bet there. I feel like I'd check. Kind of interesting to see. Nice takedown though. 10s for Shemian. Ace-Jack for Yannick. Maybe something going down here. Maybe some collision between these two mid stacks. Or mid positions. Yannick is nothing like a mid stack. 160 million right now. Clear second place. Okay, just for the call. Ace-Jack offsuit call. Jack 10 suited calling. Just playing the call game in position. It's a nice flop for the 10s. You don't expect a ton of 6s to call here in the cutoff. Just have a nice pocket pair. And Yannick does call. 2 overs, Jack of hearts. Shemian's slowing down out of position now. Flush on the board, doesn't have a heart. Maybe just wants to play 2 streets. And does check the river as well. I doubt Yannick's gonna bluff. No, does just check it back. It's a conservative effort from the 10s, but a nice pot. Nice. Shemian just about back to 100 million. Prebin in the big blind here with the ace-king. Maybe some trouble for... Oh, 9s. I didn't even see the 9s. So we get 9s, 7s, and ace-king. Okay, raising a call from the pairs. And Prebin's, looking down at ace-king against second and chips out of position. I'm assuming the squeeze is coming up to maybe 17 million or so. Oh, just all in. So we've seen this a few times already. People just shoving ace-king for tons and tons of big blinds, just not playing the 3-bet. Just shoving the ace-king offsuit. Kind of nice to note, I guess. Prebin just all in instead of choosing to play out of position in a squeeze pot and keeping dominated hands involved. Going for the max pressure approach. That's another ace-king I would have played differently. Definitely interesting to see that one. Ace-7 for Elis. Lars in the big blind here with the Jack 4 suited. Sitting in clear last place. I think we will see, starting to be a pretty wide defending range at this point. Do see a call and flops well. Elis, 2 overs to the board, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, immediate straight draw. Puts in a little bet. Gets a call. Beautiful turn for Elis here. Not messing around on the turn. It's just all in. Can't imagine Lars wants to call it off with the 4. Lars also has a lot of 7x in their range that just play the check call. Maybe a few slow plays. Just goes for the rip. And Elis up to 90 million now. Almost catching up to Shemian. Alexander with the 7-7. No 3-bet bluff from the ace-3. Wow, a lot of suited hands. King 5 of diamonds, ace 8 of diamonds, 10-8 of hearts. Everyone from Alexander in has something reasonable. Queen Jack's a fold, okay. Slightly tighter fold there, for sure. And will Lars go all in here against chip leader in the cutoff? I would assume so. Yep, does go all in for 12, and Preben likely to call here. Lars can have definitely a wide enough range to flick it in with the 7s. Are we going to be down to 6? The 7-handed battle has lasted for a long time. Are we going to be down to 6 here? Does make the call. Does make the call. Flops a set. GG to Lars in 7th place. Don't know how to say the last name, so we're going to stick with Lars for now. And the rich get richer, man. Chip leader finds the knockout, and yeah, GG in 7th. That cash was worth $51,856. Yeah, $51,000 was the next payout. Next payout is going to be worth 65,000 USD. Big. So this part of the tournament, I mean, we lose the short stack, right? It was the clear short stack, but now I'm looking around and we don't have a short stack anymore. Everyone is quite healthy. I mean, it's Alexander on 75 million, but can hardly say that's a short stack at this point. So this will be a pretty interesting part of the tournament to see how long this sort of battle lasts. Raising a call here. King, King 5 goes for the c-bet. Ace, Queen, Ace, Queen, Ace, King. Wow, this is, what a setup. What a setup here. Couple of 40 big blind stacks. 45, 43 big blinds. I think usually call on the button here is what's going to go down. But then if Alexander squeezed jams, do either of these players call off? Man, it's a very interesting spot. Very, very interesting. I'm just curious to see what these guys do. Oh, Shemian's in. 85 million. Ace, Queen, Ace, King. Obviously, Shemian in rough shape with the Queen sitting in Elis in their whole cards right now. King of the flop and big pot there. Huge pot for Alexander. I'm now reading the name. It's Alexandre. Oof. I don't know, actually. Have I been pronouncing it wrong for 2 whole parts? Is it Alexandre? I'm going to keep saying Alexander just for consistency's sake, but I'm not sure anymore. Anyway, huge pot there, 155 million. Shemian down to 5 big blinds. Definitely a setup. I mean, it's kind of a sick one. I feel like calling is probably the way to go. Eights against the 8-3. We can see Preben is not in good shape here with the 3. However, the way this board is developing, this might work out nice. We could see some bluffs happening from the 3x in Preben's range. You don't really have much worse. Doesn't go for the bluff, though. Does not go for the bluff. I mean, you don't have a lot worse, right? Like, if you call with, you know, if you call on a King 10-3 board, check, check, turn. I mean, you do have some maybe low flush draws. Maybe Ace X of clubs also, potentially. So you have some, like, you have some air hands, but a lot of the hands you call with are King 10-3, some Queen X, some 9x on the flop, some Jack X. Everything kind of improves. Whereas your 3 is left is just kind of an ugly hand, but you know, maybe just not a spot where Preben wants to bluff a pair, or maybe just doesn't want to have much of a betting range in general on that river, so it doesn't mind just giving up. I think that's a spot where I would look down at my 3 and think, okay, well, this is pretty much bottom of my range now. I'm going to go for the bluff, so... And, you know, I actually didn't even mention Elis actually turned their hand into a bluff, which is kind of interesting, right? We see the 3 out of Preben's range not bluff, out of position. And then Elis with the pocket 8s does bluff their hand in position. So kind of the difference of position there. Anyway, back to the King of Preben. Gonna have a tough time getting action here. Unless they go for the limp. But chip leader not incentivized to limp too many hands here. I forgot Shamian had no chips. Just goes for the shove. No trap, no min raise or anything, just all in. And I think Shamian will be happy to see the jacks far from out of this tournament. 2 double ups and Shamian's back in. Taco folding the queen jack and the high jack. We've seen a couple of queen jack offsuits fold. There is, I mean, there's the ladder sitting there, right? There is the ladder just sitting there ripe for the taking, so kind of just want to stay out of the way. Next payout, you go from the 51,000 up to 65,000, so all these ladders are quite nice. Alexander, on the other hand, happy to raise the king jack, and Yannick's gonna call, and I guess Alexander has to call too. The price is quite good. Oh, goes for the raise. Wow. And Shemian in good shape here. Just has to dodge a king. No king. All right, there we go. 25 million. Triples up. Back to 13 big blinds. It's another pot that king jack there, you know, deciding to go for the raise, knocking out a better hand, just putting pressure on what maybe they assume to be quite a capped calling range. Just going for the raise and the pressure play. It's kind of nice. Okay, Elis in the big blind does defend against under the gun with the king 9 offsuit. Maybe a fold that I would make against under the gun here with Shemian down to such a short stack, but we see a really nice flop. Small bet and a call. Could see some leads here. See a check. Maybe less leading considering the flush came in, and also considering it's a final table, so you're going to be defending less 4x than normal. Can't leverage as many 4s. Do see just a small blocker bet on the river and quickly called. Pot for Elis. Going towards Elis. Up to 110 million-ish. 108. These are junky hands. Yannick gonna find the open though. I haven't seen Taco fold any of these connectors. This is maybe the first part of the tournament where Taco's sitting on a stack that's not like super solid, but yeah, is still gonna defend. Seen the 5-4, the 6-5 offsuit a few times. Yannick gonna play a small bet. Just a quarter of the pot. Small lead here from the 6-5. Takes it down. Something kind of feels off about this lead. Like with the sizing. Feels like too big of a lead with the hand that you have. Like I could see the lead being good, but I feel like it would want to be like a bit smaller. Like 15% of the pot or something like that. You fold out the same kind of hands, but it maybe fits your equity a bit better. Something feels slightly inaccurate about that sizing and that lead, but at the end of the day, it does fold out the 10-8, just picks up the pot on the turn. Could be wrong. Yannick can open again here with the king 9. Yannick no longer in second place.
Big blind. Guys, come on.
Shemian in the big blind here, queen 5 suited. Likely to try to flop something here.
Your digits.
Trying to figure out how these guys say the Alexander character's name, but Preben gonna go for a small bluff raise here. See if Shemian goes for the call or shove. Does go for the shove. Not messing about. Just sitting on queen 5, just saying, you know what? I'm gonna run my equity here. I'm not taking a flop with the suited hand. That's one where I would have kind of thought call was gonna be the thing, but I'm either learning a lot from Shemian or just straight up getting confused. So, oh, they're just calling him Alex. I like that. Alex on the button. I wish I would have started saying Alex, but yeah. Alexander with the kings. Oof. Preben, finally with the 3-bet here. We haven't seen like too much. Granted, they haven't really had the hands to do so, but timing is off. Timing is off. Kings all in. The blinds did go up. We're on 2.5 million now. Quite a large all in there. Quite a large all in. There was probably some room to maybe go smaller. You see 16 million. I mean, I think there's room to make it like 30 million here. 35. Just with the final table dynamics. But, I mean, you have kings. You're all in. Not the end of the world. Ooh, chip leader ace queen here. Pocket pair in the big blind. Taco's going to try to flop a set. Oh my goodness, and does. Strong ace for Preben and a set for Taco. Just over a third here for in position. Taco just gonna click the call button. Fair enough. Final table, you're not gonna want to really raise a lot of hands here. Not a lot of bluff raising. Just gonna keep it consistent with the range. Go for the slow play. Big bet on the turn here from Prebin. Taco not going anywhere. And right now, Taco's just like, please give me a safe river and please go for the all-in. And I mean, on the 3, I think Taco's gonna get it. Be a pretty sick check back. I don't know really why we would see a check back. Oh my goodness. What a check back. What is this? What is this check with the ace queen? I mean, this is outrageous. Wow. I'm very surprised. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't even seem right to me, but again, I mean, we gotta take all the plays that these people make with a grain of salt. I kind of said this at the beginning of part 1. We can watch these players play, but we don't know what kind of reads they have on their opponents. We don't know if it's, you know, they're just checking back because it's Tuesday, and maybe if they played this final table on Wednesday, they would have gone for it. We don't know if they have notes. Maybe Prebin knows that Taco overfolds rivers like a ton. So, you know, maybe Prebin knows he's not going to get value from Taco's check call river range, you know? Maybe he thinks Taco's going to fold the ace-jack, fold the ace-8 always, just not going to pay them. So, you know, we got to take all plays with a grain of salt, not read too much into it, but yeah, interesting. I feel like I would have just gone all in. Another good flop for Prebin there. 200 million. Shemian still the short stack here. Nobody else really close. Everyone else has managed to climb above 100 million. Third and chips, Yannick gonna open it up. No defend from the short stack. Takes it down. Taco probably feeling pretty good. Chipped up big. Has the 7-8 suited. Maybe a raise. I think fold is standard though. You got the short stack. You have 2 big stacks on your left. I think fold is definitely the right play, but you know, 7-8 suited. It's a good looking hand. King 7 going for the call. Top set for imposition. Kings for the chip leader. You know, Shemian may take this spot for 10 big blinds against cutoff. Would be a pretty reasonable shove against chip leader range, but it is the ace-9 offsuit. I'm not sure which way Shemian will go. I think shove probably. Yeah, does go for the all-in. And will Shemian survive death? Are we going to be down to 6? Or sorry, are we going to be down to 5? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Shemian survives death round 2 with the ace-9 offsuit against king-king. Survived death with the jacks. Sitting on 55 million, 20 big blinds now. Carry on. Gets, you know, back-to-back ace-9. Can't fold it here, right? Prebin's snap folding the queen-8 now. I mean, Prebin's chip lead is much more vulnerable now. Okay. Players are back from break. Ooh. Wait. Wait, what happened? Guys, okay, so I'm watching this on the Party Poker channel, and I guess during the break, a hand was missed. We're seeing Yannick now with 35 million, and Prebin has almost 300 million, so clearly there was a massive clash here. And Elis must have chipped up a little bit too against Alexander. Oh my goodness, hold on. Hold the phone, man. Hold the phone. So there's no hands that I actually missed. There's no hands that I missed, but I guess we just don't have all the information here. So, wow, major developments here. So Prebin is up to almost 300 million. Elis chipped up. Alexander chipped down. Shemian chipped up a tiny bit. But Yannick, huge story. Now the clear short stack. Oh my goodness. I wish I know what happened. I wish I knew what happened. Oh my god, and now we have queens and ace king. What is going on? Okay, Yannick, I mean, this is going to be an all-in for sure. Oh my goodness. I wonder what the hand was. Will we ever know? Prebin on back up to 291 million. I mean, just, wow, I wish we knew what the hand was, but so be it. Here's the current situation. 7's out of the way. King 10 suited out of the way, I would assume. Yannick in there. Some crazy action must have happened. And we're going to see an all-in. We might be down to 5 players. I don't really know which way to root. I don't know. Yeah, ace on the flop. There it is, man. GG to Yannick. Gonna get 6th place in the millions final table. Elis up to 220 million. And we're gonna pause it there. We're gonna pause it there for part 2. That was pretty exciting. That was pretty fun. I'm just going to take a second and update the sheet to kind of show us where we're at and kind of go through the tournament, and then we'll be back for part 3. Okay, guys, after part 2, this is where we're at for the final table of Preben. The whole final table has been chip leading, still sitting up close to 100 big blinds in a zone of their own. You know, they got the blue color here, 97 big blinds. Elis all the way up to 217 million, 70 big blinds. Crushing, definitely in the green zone. Far ahead of third place, far ahead of the short stacks, in a really comfortable spot. Taco right in the middle. Like, Taco is far away from the big stacks and is pretty far away from the short stacks. So I think Taco's probably in a good spot to just chill out and get some ladders probably at this point. We'll see though. We'll see what they do in part 3. And then we have Ole Shemian and Alexander in 4th and 5th, both on 19 big blinds. So that's how the stacks shake out when we're heading into part 3. Congrats to Yannick on 6th place for $65,000, and then Lars on 7th place for $51,000. Man, that was fun. I'm enjoying this commentary. I'm excited to see how this shakes out. Like I said, I don't know how this tournament ends. First time watching it for me as well. So the prizes that we have left to play for are on the right here. Next payout's $84,000 all the way up to $391,000 for the win. If you guys like this kind of stuff, click the like button and drop a comment. Let me know. We'll be back with part 3 very soon. I think I might record it today, so I might be wearing the same outfit, but look forward to seeing you guys in that one.